Darren, your speech at the World Championships of Public Speaking was extremely interesting. Now, this particular word, interesting, my dear friends, if you ever have any friends coming up to you and tell you that your speech is interesting, your approach was interesting, it need not be a bad thing, of course. I know some people would tell you that if someone says it's interesting, means they have nothing else better to say. But for some individuals, really, because they have perhaps not used other words to complement an individual enough, interesting forms the major word in their repertoire. So comes off not so much as an offensive kind of word to me. I still take it very nicely. And of course, I'll often ask them why, and then based on their explanation, based on their examples that they give, you pretty much know whether that the word interesting is used as a euphemism to cover up for something not very nice, or whether it's something genuine to compliment you. But what is the point of me bringing this up? Whenever someone says that, hey, a speaker is interesting, a speaker's content is interesting, a speaker's story is interesting, the speaker's approach is interesting, the speaker's products are interesting, I feel that it is not enough just to be interesting. You see, I have two great mentors who have trained me in my professional speaking career, and not just in terms of the speaking side, but in terms of the business side as well. Especially for the business side, you cannot afford just to be interesting. Interesting is enough for you to get their attention, but more importantly, you need to be interested. What is the difference between interesting and interested? Interesting means that it's pretty much about you, the content, the delivery, the style. But being interested means there's a vested interest in your audience members whereby you place their priorities at the number one level. You place their interest at the number one priority. If you're interested in them truly, you would take extra time, extra effort to find out what are the needs specifically. Not their needs in general, but their needs specifically. You would take the extra time to speak to one or two of them. You would take the extra effort to speak with the HR manager. You take extra time to even give them feedback forms for them to fill in so that subsequent sessions with them would be even more productive, even more of a value add in terms of their learning journey. So it's extremely important for us to be interested in our audience members so as to become interesting later. Because guess what? If you are interested in their growth, in their needs, in their pains, in their problems, chances are your content would be positioned in a way that addresses them. It would be positioned in a way that helps solve these problems, and therefore it would definitely be interesting. So start with getting interested, then interesting. And interestingly enough, if you use this particular approach, you're going to get a lot of your audience members to come to you, more and more of them to come to you and say that your speech was both interesting because you were interested in our interest. So I hope this particular interesting video has been interesting enough for you, and think about it. What are some of the things that you can do to be more interested in your audience members? I'll see you very soon.